Everybody, how's it going? Chris Hernandez here, back with another one. In today's video, what I want to cover is simply keeping it very minimal and how to be super organized and lean when it comes to trying to improve your agency. You're trying to scale, trying to get more clients, right? And also, if you don't know who I am, I run a digital ad agency. We specifically help Ecom brand owners also doing 5 to 10K a month. We help them scale to 6 figures, at times even 100K per month using paid traffic, right? So with that being said, let's say you're an ecom brand owner, you feel like you're struggling, you want some help. I'll link my calendar down below. You can book a call with me, and then we can see if my team and I can help you. If you feel like you need something else, I also have a dedicated Facebook group that I'll link down below as well, with like-minded ecom individuals who are trying to get to that 10K per month mark to build their ecom store, right? So in that free Facebook group, I will release weekly training videos, as well as it's a great community, and looking to grow that as well. So with that being said, what I want to cover today is keeping it very, very minimal, keeping it very simple when it comes to your business as you're trying to grow. Because I think in today's generation, I think people tend to, they don't understand that really in business, when you have problems, typically it's personal problems that go into the business that affects your business. And if you look yourself in the mirror and analyze which parts of your life you're kind of lacking support in, then ultimately business is a mirror that's going to reflect those problems. And ultimately you really don't have business problems. You really just have personal problems that affect the business. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say, right, you've been at the agency, you've been doing this for a year roughly. Let's say me, right? Myself, I've been doing the agency space. I've been in the game for a year, right? Roughly just for the first 6 months, I'd say. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to do everything, but I wasn't really clear. My path wasn't really clear. After I got mentorship, I think 3 months after I got mentorship, I was going in. I was seeing some success. Like I was able to bring on like 2 clients. But then again, I wasn't really disciplined. I wasn't consistent, nor was I strict on getting to that stacking clients, right? Because it'd be like I'd get a client, then it'd be a month pass, I'd lose them, and then it's like I'd wait like another month to bring on another client. And I wasn't doing, there was something missing, right? I wasn't focused on getting meetings scheduled on my calendar. I wasn't pushing for that. So then now I'd say as of recently in the past month to 2 months, my focus has completely shifted into now I need to really just focus on getting as much sales meetings as I can a day. And ultimately the goal is just getting 1 sales meeting a day, so that the month I can have 30 sales calls. Let's say my closing rate's 50%. I can bring on roughly 10 to 15 clients if need be, right? So with that being said, I think as entrepreneurs, we tend to lack, when we don't have a clear path, that's where unnecessary action takes place, right? Because you have people too in the space that try to do email marketing, try to do cold outreach, try to do all these things, when ultimately if you just narrow your focus into one platform where you can put all your time and energy into it, and if you're able to lock in and be disciplined and be consistent and really just ultimately be the best at this platform that you can be, well, ultimately it's just a matter of time before you reach your goal, right? Because you're doing the day-to-day actions every single day, which will compound over time. And ultimately, you just need to let time pass for you to align and get to where you need to get to. So I think really, if you just put all your focus into one platform, look at everybody else in your space and really see what you can do better. Because I know people attack and approach different things separately, differently, just depends on the situation they've grown up in, right? I think as entrepreneurs, I think for me personally, right, it took me a while to really understand that, okay, I'm not doing enough. I need to shift my focus here, right? And I think ultimately, if you just there's a way to do this, but ultimately if you just map out, let's say you have a 3-pillar process, right? You have a system to get you clients, and you really need to lock in and go directly to that system, right? If you're not getting a meeting a day, well, then something's wrong, something's missing. So then you go into that focus and you go into that specific pillar, and now you go in depth, you go into deeper depths, and that's where you really figure out what problems you're facing with the business, ultimately what's holding you back from scaling. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's say, right, let's go into the first pillar, right? Let's say, okay, the problem is I'm not getting enough sales meetings booked on my calendar, right? So then we go into that specific sector. All right, so then it's organic market attraction. This is the OMA side of things. What am I not doing right? And then the first question I'd ask is, let's say I have one of my students as well. Typically I ask them, all right, how many posts are you making per day? One. All right, let's say I make one post per day for 7 days, right? Okay, so you're posting that post into different groups, all right? How much? What's your engagement like? How many likes and comments are you getting? Oh, I get this amount of likes and I get this amount of comments. All right, then how many messages are you sending out, right? And then ultimately the problem is people are not communicating. They're not having enough conversation started. Ultimately, that's why there's not enough sales meetings booked. Ultimately, that's why they're not getting any sales meetings, and that's why there's a lack of clients, because there's not enough action done on the outreach. Because when it comes to organic market attraction, there's no cap to the amount of effort you can put in. Literally, you could dedicate like 4 hours a day to just commenting on people's posts, making posts to share in Facebook groups, and then just being in front of your audience's face, because that's ultimately what's going to move the needle, right? And I think, like I said, entrepreneurs tend to have personal problems that go into and that tie into business, and it reflects, right? So a lot of people tend to get frustrated in the space where nothing's happening. They've been doing this for a year, nothing's happening, and then ultimately they just want to quit. I think if you take the approach of, all right, I'm gonna get to this destination, right? Let's say my first goal is 10K. I'm gonna get there. It's just a matter of time. And then you focus on the processes, right? You focus on, all right, I need 3 systems. I need a system to get me sales meetings booked on my calendar. I need a team to deliver results for my clients, and ultimately I need to have the skill and desire to ultimately sell on the call and be confident enough to pitch over like a 3K deal, a 4K deal, a 5K deal, right? I have to have confidence in my ability. I have to have confidence in my offer, and ultimately I have to have the desire to be able to say, okay, our price is 7,000, and just stay quiet on the sales call, right? So once you build up all those 3 pillars, then you're in a good spot to then, okay, you can hit 10K, now you can hit 30, 40K, now you can hit 100K, right? And the problems are just going to get more complex regarding team, right? It's going to be more complex where, how do you manage the team? How do you organize the team? How do you stay lean? Let's say you're building out more clients. What systems and processes can you implement to streamline it, right? You might have an onboarding systematic approach. You might have a way that you have calls with your clients, follow-up calls, etc., right? And really, you're just now you just take a step back and really just look at the system and see, all right, there's a problem here, let me improve it. There's a problem there, let me improve it. And ultimately, you're just an owner, you're a manager, and you're just managing the moving puzzle of your business, right? Because I think people tend to don't understand what the job of an owner is, right? You have 2 different positions. You have an owner and you have a CEO. A CEO is a chief executive officer, and they're over there just overseeing everything. They're managing everything. Ultimately, they're just the highest level of manager. When you're an owner, right? An owner is simply like a coach. Let's say of a sports, right? You watch sports. A coach's job is simply to, I would say actually, disregard that. Let's take a step back. A CEO is like a coach, right? A CEO is simply, their job is to put people in the right positions, right? You hire the right people to put in the right positions, right? An owner takes a step back. Ultimately, they have the last say, they have the final say of who to hire, who to bring on, and ultimately they control the vision, right? They're able to, an owner simply just hires the right people and puts them in the right positions, and ultimately lets them steer the ship while they oversee it. The owner oversees it, and they just ultimately own everything, right? So the owner controls the vision, and the CEO just simply manages everything else. So if you take the approach of an owner, right, ultimately your job is to put people in the right positions, let them steer the ship, and ultimately you take a step back and you see the vision. You control the vision, and you control the direction of your brand, of your business, right? So if you enjoyed that video, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, show some love. If you want me to cover a specific topic, comment that down below. But other than that, that's really all I have for you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.